Hi, welcome. Let's set the scene a bit. It's London 2016. Building works going on everywhere. Unaffordable housing everywhere. Rents spiralling. This is the home of the overseas investor, the corporate investor. And what we're witnessing here is the return of the down and out, the tramp. People sleeping rough on the streets. Seeing more and more each day. In my local street, there's maybe 4 or 5 regular ones, and they seem to be increasing. And this poem, or ballad, that I'm about to recite relates to something I witnessed. In essence, it's true. There's a bit of poetic license, but we'll get to it. It's called The Lawyer and the Tramp. A wealthy no-win lawyer, a paragon at court, spent every Sunday morning along his favourite walk. He always took his poodle and always took his phone, and never finished texting until he'd got back home. One morning he was walking, a latte fresh in hand, when his poodle slipped the lead and ran up to a man. This was hardly huge disaster, and barely consequence, because the man was fast asleep beside a railinged fence. The lawyer paid no notice, nor reined the dog back in, until the poodle nudged the man, then bit him on the chin. Now this man wasn't normal, he bore the pauper stamp. Perhaps he was a down and out, or possibly a tramp, which really was quite lucky, and certainly a coup, since down and outs are not inclined to be the type that sue, though one cannot be certain. So the lawyer did his best to help the tramp to stem the blood now flowing down his chest. For damage limitation, he also felt obliged to ensure that relations remained good on both sides, and with this revelation, he squatted to the ground and engaged in conversation. This is what he found. At first the tramp was hesitant, but soon he found his flow. It seemed he had a tale to tell. It was a tale of woe. He said, "I used to be a soldier and served on foreign shores. I stood for Queen and country and fought the nation's wars. I started off in Kandahar and finished in Iraq. Basra became my nemesis when we went on attack. We polished off the Jundi and went into the towns. We started up a checkpoint, and as I checked my rounds, a lovely Persian girl appeared. She walked with fluid grace. Flowing robes disguised her load. A hijab hid her face. I saw her dark eyes stare at me. I ordered her to wait. But on she just kept walking. Her actions sealed her fate. You see, we have to stop them. We just can't take the chance. They dream of some nirvana in some Islamic trance. And why should we be injured or die or lose a limb when we're trained in tactics to keep those chances slim?" She walked. We shot and down that girl and filled her full of lead. We waited for a quarter hour, ensuring she was dead. We saw when we approached her, her robes had come apart. Her bomber's rig enveloped her, her load clutched to her heart. Except it weren't munition contained within those straps. Instead it was a baby girl. I felt my heart collapse. Her dark eyes, they still haunt me. That child that's dead and maimed. The innocent collateral. This one-time soldier's shame. I spiraled downward after that and came back to this land. My mind was in a maelstrom and blood was on my hand. I couldn't be a soldier. I couldn't hold a gun. I couldn't face my conscience. I felt I had to run. And that's what I've been doing. I've gone from town to town. And now I'm almost finished. My life is near worn down. So don't you worry on this bite. It doesn't mean a thing. It really is quite minimal. It doesn't even sting. I used to be a soldier. I used to live with pride. I used to have my honour. Now all that's cast aside. The lawyer sat there listening with the face he used for court. The one that said compassion but was really just for sport. After all, a story is a story, and the lawyer knew it well. He told them for a living. They'd made his fortune swell. It's only fools that get involved and do these things for real. The really clever people are back home doing deals. It's winners and it's losers, and although the point is moot, but never think a winner really gives a hoot. It's all about the wonga, the dollar and the green. Forget about your honour, forget about your queen. With that the lawyer stood back up and briefly gave his hand, then chuckled as he wandered off. He'd probably saved 10 grand.